Hello there, I'm Azara Tagaya and you're watching Ringgit Sense. In today's episode, we talk about a business venture that has seen strong growth in the Malaysian food and beverage market, the food truck industry. Now, food trucks are nothing new in Malaysia, but in recent years, it has gained more and more interest and is slowly transforming the Malaysian culinary scene. Among the recent innovations are the improved quality of the vehicles, the equipment, as well as the added diversity of the food options itself. Now, while the rewards can be high, there are also many who have failed. We went out to speak to a few food truck owners to find out what are the challenges they face. Want to kickstart your food dream but don't know where to begin? The food truck business is one way to get your business on the road. As of January this year, there are an estimated 130 operating food trucks in Malaysia, and that number is expected to double by 2018. When you think about it, food trucks are not a new thing in Malaysia. Goreng pisang, keropok lekor, lok-lok and cendol trucks have long been Malaysian favourites. But the trend has seemed to surge in recent years. So why this newfound popularity? Is it a profitable business venture? We asked a few food truckers to find out.
I'm running a homemade patty burger and chicken wings and fries. Yeah. I've been doing this for quite some time, about one and a half years. Before that, I was working with mostly working with my brother. I'm helping out my brother.
So now you're doing this full time?
Yeah, I'm doing this full time now. Yeah. We prefer to go for events, just like these events. So we much more going for event. But usually we were stationed at Nkop Mall, Setiawangsa, Dataran Setiawangsa, Tapak, KL. That's where we will be. I'm always interested in food trucks. I always watch this series, food truck series. That turns me on. That turns me on. Then I start say okay. Then I start to collect money, skip some savings, and try buying some new food trucks. Below 100K, you can get a good one. But if you want more advanced, and maybe more than $100,000 ringgit. If you can get a good one below 100,000, 70,000, you can get a good one.
Many are also venturing into selling beverages.
Okay, if you're talking about my product, maybe it's a little bit on the high side because the product that I am doing now is coffee, which involve the espresso machine, the grinder, the blender, and of course the generator. So it's cost me around 140 to 150,000. That is together with the truck itself. Coffee has its own followers. Yeah, so it is a trend now, especially for the youngsters, the young executive, and beside, I myself love coffee very much. So it is that you must love what you are doing. My area, Kajang, Putrajaya, Bangi, and of course KL. Events once a while, because I'm a member of KL Food Truck Station. So when KL FTAA has participated in event, then I follow. Otherwise, I'll be in my place, which is in Bandar Tun Hussein On.
Rain or shine, it's business as usual. But one has to always be prepared to face the challenges.
You have to look for a good location where there will be people coming to your food truck. If you're talking about having business during daytime, where you want to park your food truck,
Oh, sometimes the challenges is very tough. You can see like this. If it's raining, then there will be no customers. Sometimes you have to wake up early in the morning to set up all these things. So you have to prepare everything. Wake up 5 in the morning, and you have to go there, prepare everything. That's a challenge. And the most challenging is customers lah. If we don't have customers, that's the most challenging part lah. On a good day, we can make one day we can go for 2,000 ringgit. That's if it's a good day. Yeah.
What about on days like this?
On days like this, we can even we get 100 ringgit, 200 ringgit. Yes.
The Kuala Lumpur Food Truck Entrepreneurs Association, or KLFT, strives to help potential food truck business owners get started. You can approach KLFT for advice on guidelines, technical aspects, branding and marketing, and of course, the price of starting your own food truck business. And on occasions such as this one, KLFT also helps to rope in food truck operators when their service is needed by event organizers.
So in 2015, a few food truck entrepreneurs in the Klang Valley got together to form an association to work with KL City Hall on how to legalize their industry. So with us today is Ahmad Zulkarnain Jantan from the Kuala Lumpur Food Truck Entrepreneurs Association, or KLFT. Hi Zulkarnain, thank you so much for joining us on Ringgit Sense. Now, as I understand, you are a committee member, a special project with KLFT. So before we get into that, please tell us briefly what KLFT is all about.
KLFT is actually an association. We do cater for food trucks, and basically, apart from food trucks, we also do what you call that, entrepreneurships, and also food truck clinics.
All right, so for people who want to start their own food trucks. So for viewers today who want to get into the food truck business, can you give us an overview? How much do you actually need before you can set up your food truck? The cost breakdown, how much and for what?
You can segment it into three segments. You can have either brand new food trucks that will cost you from maybe 80,000 to 150. Fully complete food trucks, or you can have a second-hand one, which is going to cost you from 30 to 55,000, and also you can even rent a new one.
Okay, so how much for rental then?
It depends. It depends on the type of food trucks, but I would say it will be in between the 80 ringgit to 150 ringgit per day.
Per day, I see. Okay, so how about licensing? How do you apply for licensing? What permits is it necessary to have?
To start a business in food trucks, you don't really need a license. You can. Of course, you can actually go anywhere and find yourself what you call it, a different entity, whereby like a Tapa Urban, and you can register there. But in terms of licensing, you can go to DBKL and look for it. It will say you will have it in between 1 to 3 months.
Okay.
Depending on the locations.
All right, so so that's how much it costs to actually set up a food truck. Now, how much can someone expect to spend in a month, and how much revenue can they make in a month?
It depends actually. It depends on your what type of food you are thinking of doing. It really depends on where you are working. It also depends on your type of workers, whether they are professionals, semi-professionals, or even a newbie.
Okay.
It really depends.
But what's the rough number?
To get your food truck operational, I think it will cost you around maybe 2,000 to 3,000 a month.
A month.
A month.
And how long before between setting up the food truck and actually getting some revenue? How many months do you think that will be?
I can't say. It really depends on you and how hardworking you are. But I would say that if you're working to an average food truck, you will need to get at least 500 to 600 sales per day. That will be enough to cater for your daily living for that particular month.
I see. Okay. So
and also that depends if in that particular month you will have some kind of events, and that will actually basically make more money.
Okay, so now if some of the viewers who are watching, they want to open their own food truck, maybe they've been thinking about it for a few months. So what are some of the new concepts of food trucks that are available today? It used to be just like food, and goreng pisang, cendol, that's been around for a long time. And then now you have coffee trucks, beverages, ice-blended beverages. And you also have now a different type of truck, not food, it's like a moving spa.
Yeah.
So what other types of trucks can people get into?
I would call that business trucks. You are what you are. If you're, let's just say, if you're a hairdresser, you can have a hairdressing truck. If you're a spa type of person, then you can have a spa truck. It really depends on you. You can have it in various type of forms, but I wouldn't say food trucks. But yeah, food truck is actually the norm nowadays. But you can have actually all kinds of trucks, depending on what you are.
Okay, so it's actually moving and evolving further than just the food truck, but rather a business truck. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk more about operations and also licensing and the different places where you can actually operate your food truck. Coming up next on Ringgit Sense, don't go anywhere. Back on Ringgit Sense with me, Azara Tagaya, and we're talking about the food truck industry. With us in the studio, we have Ahmad Zulkarnain Jantan from the Kuala Lumpur Food Entrepreneurs Association, or KLFT. Now, Ahmad Zulkarnain, we were talking about how you actually set up your food truck. So now we want to talk more about licensing. So Kuala Lumpur City Hall, or DBKL, has actually said that by 2020, there will be no more street food and only food trucks will be allowed. So what's the process of actually getting a food truck license in the Klang Valley for people who want to join in this?
Well, basically you have to have, obviously you have to have a food truck first, and you have to have a designated spot, and then from there onwards you have to go and register, basically. And if you're, let's just say, and this doesn't go only for DBKLs, you can have actually multiple licenses. If you're residing in Sabang Jaya, you can go to MPSJ and register.
Okay, so there's actually this misconception that if you have a license for KL, you cannot operate in Selangor, even though it's close by, because it's a different place. But you can actually overcome that by getting a few licenses.
Yes, you can have multiple licenses. At the moment, the industry is still young. All the local councils are still debating whether to have one type of license. But at the moment, every local councils have their own set of what do you call that type of license, and what you can do is register.
Okay, so how long until you can actually get your license and you're able to operate? And is there any type of vetting before that? Any inspections, tests?
It depends on the local councils again. But for DBKL, of course, you must have all the particular details, such as the KKMs. You have to have your own typhoid jabs. You have to have your own sigils and everything.
Okay. What are some of the common problems faced by food truck operators in terms of by the authorities and also in terms of the location that they operate at? What are some of the problems they face?
I would say misconceptions. Some of the operators, they think that they can just go and park their food trucks anywhere.
Anywhere, because it's a vehicle.
You simply can't do that. You simply can't do that. What you can do is actually identify the food truck areas and then apply for license. And so there are places where you really can't do that, because it might be obstructing the lanes, it might be obstructing the views and things such as that.
Okay. So since food truck operating has become sort of a trend, a lot of people want to join in it, but we also see a lot of people fail in the first few months of operating their food truck. So what's the main reason so many people are not able to succeed?
Food truck is a serious business, and by underestimating the amount of work that goes into it, you can fail really easy. And there's also a few other things, such as like cash flow. You have to have a good cash flow, locations, the products, and basically workers, and also basically lack of knowledge.
All right. So you have to know how to operate a food truck.
Yes.
That's why we're telling people today.
Yeah, it's a serious business.
Okay. Okay, so when we come back, we'll be talking more about KLFT and actually how they can help food truck entrepreneurs. Stay tuned for that, coming up on Ringgit Sense. Back on Ringgit Sense with me, Azaria Tagaya. We are still with our guest, Ahmad Zulkarnain Jantan from the Kuala Lumpur Food Truck Entrepreneurs Association, or KLFT. Well, Zulkarnain, before the break, we talked about how to set up your food truck, some challenges that food truck entrepreneurs may face. So now we want to get into the specifics of actually starting your food truck. So if some of the viewers want to start their food truck now and they want help from KLFT, how can KLFT actually offer your services?
Okay. Well, basically, we do have what you call that food truck clinics. Please come to our food truck clinics, and we can have discussions there. And at the same time, you can even contact us easy. And basically, any other than that, you can just come to talk to any of the food truckers. Okay. We are a friendly bunch of people.
What would be your advice to people who want to start a food truck, but they want to get financing? What are some of the good ways to get financing to start a food truck? Some loans?
This goes if you were to buy a brand new one. If you were to get some loans, you can obviously go to, first of all, you need to go to recognize what type of trucks that you needed. Some trucks, they have these in-house credit options. Like Nissan, or like myself, I'm using a Daihatsu Grand Max. We simply just go to banks and they will deal about it. Other than that, you can still go to basically Mara or PUNB, or even Tekun to get some loans.
Before we wrap then, what would be your one piece of advice to someone who is watching right now and they want to start their own food truck business? What should they look out for?
Food truck is basically, what do you call it? It is a serious business. It is a serious business meant for serious people. You can get easily duped by it, but I would say it is the in thing now. And I foresee that it is going to be like gonna like exist in another 10, 20, maybe 30 years time. It's not going to be to end soon. But you must have a team about it. You must have a team so that in order to be a successful food trucker.
Okay. So how big of a team do you recommend? The maximum amount of people that you should hire to help you? At least 5. At least 5 people to help you with your food truck.
Yeah.
Okay.
You need somebody to man your Facebook, your Twitters and everything. You need one at least to man your kitchen. You need 2 at least to man the food truck, and one on standby.
I see. Okay, so these days a lot of people don't have job opportunities. It's very scarce. So a lot of people like cooking actually, and they have a food dream. So do you recommend fresh graduates to enter the food truck business?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Hopefully today's discussion may have inspired some of you to start your own businesses. And if you want to watch today's discussion about the food truck industry, go to our Facebook page, Ringgit Sense TV3. Well, now the 2018 budget will be tabled in Parliament this Friday. So next week on Ringgit Sense, we'll be having a post-budget discussion with our in-studio guests. How will the budget affect you this time around? Will we be able to see more benefits for first-time home buyers and other benefits that can help to ease the burden of Malaysians? Find out the answers next week. Till then, I'm Azaria Tagaya. Thanks for watching.